Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Alex and behind the camera is Emma. We are in Fethiye in Turkey and we are currently exploring an abandoned ghost town. Hello my beautiful bean team and welcome to another day here in Turkey. Today we're going to go to a few interesting sites that have caught our eye and we're now making our way to an abandoned ghost town and we're going to go and find out what actually happened there. We have just got to the entrance, we've gone to go and buy a ticket and we have forgot our money, so back we go. Let's try this again, shall we?
This is Kayaköy, and up until the early 1900s, it was a thriving village with over 2,000 Greeks living here. However, something happened in the 1920s which caused every single person living here to abandon it.
Can you imagine that just under 100 years ago that this place was absolutely bustling? 100 years! Like America hadn't even been discovered at that point. Just kidding. I don't want to say village because it doesn't feel like a village, but online everything that I've read it says it was a village. It feels much bigger than one, but it used to have everything you'd want and come to expect from a village. A church, a school, the bakers, plenty of housewives. It says that online, I don't know why. It's not just the fact that everybody left here in a very short space of time that's fascinating. The other thing is who came in to take their place. Bum, bum, bum.
In 1923, following the Turkish War of Independence and the failure of the Greeks to seize the Aegean coast, the new Turkish government created the population exchange policy. This required that all Greeks living in Turkey at that time must leave back to Greece immediately and vice versa.
Once the Greeks had finally slung their hook and got out of here, the Turkish farmers came here, but they really struggled with the change of climate and the soil conditions. It is rumoured and believed by the people here at the time that those sneaky Greeks, just before they left, they poisoned all of the water supplies. So over time, the Turkish began to leave here, and then in 1957, that's an earthquake, struck and everybody finally abandoned this place for good, which now leaves us tourists to be able to come and see it. If you want to come to Kayaköy, it's only going to cost you 6 lira, which to be honest is not that dear.
Oh my god. As with the ruins from the first video that we made in Turkey, they are completely overgrown by nature, and this is something that I'm really loving that we're seeing here in Turkey a lot, is that all of the ruins are just left to be overtaken by nature. It's incredibly beautiful to look at.
It's quite powerful to see how nature just overtakes everything.
Yeah, it's quite humbling actually. I really like it.
It's actually quite reassuring as well, as no matter how much all of us humans kind of ruin the world a little bit, maybe one day the world will take it back.
That's not depressing in the slightest. Now it is time to go and get some refuge at the aircon in our car and drive to our next spot.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on.
So carrying on the theme from yesterday's video when we saw a tortoise, there's another weird animal we've just seen. What? Okay, I'm guessing this is a farm. I've not really ever seen a farm with these animals before. What? Did you see the eggs?
No.
There's like huge eggs. Okay, I would like to introduce you to the ostrich. What?
So big. You're looking at me. Who are you? I can see down its gullet. This is the weirdest thing.
So I'm guessing it's an ostrich farm.
Look at the size of its feet. It's like dinosaur feet.
Whoa.
You're very inquisitive, aren't you? You haven't run away.
So that's now tortoises and ostriches. What other weird ass animals are you gonna throw at me, Turkey? Now we are making our way in a very hot 35 degrees to an ancient site that is over 2,000 years old.
We stopped for a quick bite of lunch before we go into the ancient site, which is located literally right across the road from it. And we also not only have this amazing looking food, but the view from the restaurant looking over Fethiye is pretty astounding. We've opted for what is described on the menu as Lycian tapas for two, and it essentially looks like kind of like a meze / salad plate with lots of different things to choose from, and of course some fresh baked bread, which still feels warm actually.
Also, we're rocking the orange juice, fresh and delicious as always in Turkey.
So good. Anywhere you see some oranges laying about, they'll make you a fresh juice, and it is bloody delicious. I'm not going to pretend that I know what any of this is, but every time we order mezes or salads at any of the restaurants here, we're always happy with the result. It's always delicious, it always tastes fresh. So I'm just gonna dig right in. That's so good. It's really spicy, but like flavorful. That food was delicious, but we definitely should have done it after walking up all these steps.
This last spot of the day is called Fethiye Tomb. It also has a different name, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce for you. In the restaurant, I asked the waiter, do we have to pay? And he said, yes, it's 6 lira, which is around about $1, just under £1. And he said, it's not worth it though. You can see it from the road. And it really made me laugh a lot because this here is over 2,000 years old. I think it was built in around 350 BC. And I just love that he's like, nah, it's not worth seeing. I'm going to give you some information about the place very shortly, but I just want to express my disgust and heartbreak when I've got up here and it's covered in graffiti. Could you imagine being a person that comes to see something like this and think, yeah, you know what this needs? A little scribble from me on it. These tombs in the rock side are Lycian tombs. Now the Lycian people lived here in this region a very long time ago. Not much is known about the Lycian people, but we do know that they believed that the dead were carried away by winged mystical creatures. So they thought that they needed to build their tombs high up so it was easier for them to join the afterlife. This tomb here is the only one that you can get up and close to, and it would have been a Lycian leader's tomb because it is the highest of all of them, making him more important.
One thing that really strikes me about this place is how on earth did they carve such intricate tombs out of the side of a mountain over 2,000 years ago without machines, without power, without electricity? It's incredible, and the human race ceases to amaze me with their ingenuity. I have no idea how this was possible, but I'm glad it was because it is incredible to see. Not only is the tomb impressive, but actually the view looking out at Fethiye from here and the ocean is insane. And I also can't believe that you can walk right up and touch this tomb. You can even go inside it. There's a hole here. I mean, obviously there's graffiti here. Have you met humans? Humans are dreadful. There are also some tombs a bit lower down the hillside carved out of the rock. However, you can't actually go straight up to them like you can this one, but you do have an incredible view even from the roadside.
This seems like the perfect time to end our video in front of a 2,350-year-old thing.
Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video.
Don't forget to leave us a comment and subscribe if you haven't. Also, we have a Patreon. Search for it, you'll find it.
And if you hit that notification bell, you will be notified of future videos from the beans.
And finally, all together now. 3, 2, 1, beans out! Also, please tell me if you actually said it at the same time that I said that.
We left our hotel in Fethiye this morning and we are making our way over to Bodrum, but we've decided to make a little stop off along the way in Dalian. So Dalian is a location that you can set off to go and see the famous Turtle Beach.